Hello everybody and welcome back to every card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It's time to move on to Yugi's boss monster, along with the many supporting cards that have been included in the game to date. Many of Yugi's cards revolve around the Dark Magician, making it one of the most iconic cards and one of the first even a lot of the casual fans can name. And to start with, we have the Dark Magician, a Dark level 7 spellcaster normal monster with 2500 attack and 2100 defense. By itself, it is of course nothing special, and back in the early days of the TCG, it was notably outshined by Summon Skull, which had the same attack but required one less tribute. Nowadays though, it would never realistically be tribute summoned, and over the years, a whole Dark Magician archetype has made it a formality to get onto the field if it's played in the right deck. I don't often talk about attributes, but it's worth mentioning that Dark is by far the most populous attribute, with about 25% of the monsters fitting into this category. This makes a lot of options available for Dark Magician decks that wouldn't be possible otherwise. Second is Magician's Souls, a Dark level 1 spellcaster effect monster with 0 attack and defense, which reads, you can send up to 2 spells, traps from your hand or field to the graveyard, draw that many cards. If this card is in your hand, you can send 1 level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard, then activate one of these effects. Special summon this card, send this card to the graveyard, then you can special summon 1 Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard. You can only use each effect of Magician's Souls once per turn. This one can do a few things and they're all great. Digging through your deck is one of the best ways to generate advantage in a duel, and the archetype has no shortage of spells. Whilst this effect only makes you card neutral, the fact that they can be sent from the field as well as the hand means you can reap the activation effects of a continuous or field spell such as Magician's Salvation, then send it to the graveyard and draw a card. We'll talk about cards this effect works particularly well with as we get to them. Its second effect makes it easy to special summon even if played in another archetype containing high level spellcasters, and if you don't need to summon it to the field, it can fetch a Dark Magician straight from the deck. Magician's Souls cannot be spoken about without mentioning how well it works outside of the Dark Magician archetype as well. Basically every deck runs at least a handful of spells, so if you're running a level 6 or higher spellcaster, this is an option. The fact that it's a level 1 even opens you up to link options like Magikuriboh and Relinquished Anima. If I had to choose an objectively best card today, it would be this one. Thirdly, we've got Magikuriboh. This is a Dark level 1 fiend type with 300 attack and 200 defense. Its effect is, during the main or battle phase, if you took damage by battle or an opponent's card effect this turn, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon 1 Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your deck or graveyard. If a face-up spellcaster monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can add this card from the graveyard to your hand. You can only use each effect of Magikuriboh once per turn. So this is the first of many Kuriboh monsters. I'll cover the original Kuriboh eventually, but for anyone that doesn't know, it was the cute mascot of Yugi's deck, and nowadays a lot of archetypes get an exclusive bow monster. Despite that fact, this card wasn't first printed until 2022, which explains the long card effect. Its first ability is great for saving yourself during the opponent's battle phase, and the fact it can recycle itself from the graveyard just adds to its playability. This card is only a super rare, and therefore is an especially good option for people building this deck who want to save crafting points. Next up is Magician's Robe, a Dark level 2 spellcaster monster with 700 attack and 2000 defense. Its effect reads, during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can discard 1 spell, trap, special summon 1 Dark Magician from your deck. During your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell, trap card or effect while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Magician's Robe once per turn. This card's effects aren't bad, but it's one of those cases where there are simply better options that do more. Magician's Souls, for instance, can send a Dark Magician to graveyard and special summon itself, then gives you the option to replace your spell and traps from hand or field. In contrast, this card can't special summon itself from the hand and puts you at a card disadvantage just to get you a monster which, as I've mentioned, doesn't have an effect. In this case, the end rarity reflects the card's mediocrity. Fifth, we have Magician's Rod. This is a Dark level 3 spellcaster type effect monster with 1600 attack and 100 defense, which reads, when this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 spell trap from your deck to your hand that mentions Dark Magician. During your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell trap card or effect while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can tribute 1 spellcaster monster. Add this card to your hand. You can only activate each effect of Magician's Rod once per turn. This is a key searcher within the archetype, and whilst it costs you your normal summon, being able to add cards like Magician's Salvation, Dark Magical Circle, or Soul Servant to hand make this a must run in the deck. Its second effect is more useful than it looks as well, because you can tribute any 1 spellcaster type monster, not a Dark Magician monster. So you can, for instance, instance, summon this monster to activate its effect, then link it off for, say, Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden. Her effect is irrelevant in this situation because as soon as you pass turn, you can trigger a face down card and tribute her to recycle Magician's Rod. Being able to add in text like this are what make these consistent options so good. Following that is Skilled Dart Magician, a Dart level 4 spellcaster monster with 1900 attack and 1700 defense. Its effect is, each time a spell card is activated, place one spell counter on this card when that spell resolves, max 3. You can tribute this card with 3 spell counters on it, special summon one Dart Magician from your hand, deck or graveyard. This is another card which is originally from the classic era of Yu-Gi-Oh, having first been printed in 2003, but for that reason its effect has always been behind pace in Master Duel. Effects with spell counters haven't generally been popular in the game, and whilst this can summon Dart Magician from basically anywhere, it takes too long for it to be a realistic option. Seventhly, Dart Magician Girl is a Dart level 6 spellcaster effect monster with 2000 attack and 1700 defense, and its effect reads, gains 300 attack for every Dart Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in the graveyards. Dart Magician Girl is of course every bit as iconic as the Dart Magician, and a lot of these support cards work with both of them, meaning she is almost as well supported. That said, her effect is pretty simple and is mainly symbolic of the bond she shares with her master. Dart Magician Girl can also be considered a character within the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and even has dialogue in certain scenes. 8th up, we've got Toon Dart Magician Girl, a Dart level 6 spellcaster Toon effect monster with 2000 attack and 1700 defense. Its effect is, cannot be normal summoned, set, must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing one monster while you control Toon World. If Toon World on the field is destroyed, destroy this card. Can attack your opponent directly unless they control a Toon monster, in which case this card must target a Toon monster for its attacks. Gains 300 attack for every Dart Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in either player's graveyard. Basically the same effects as Dart Magician Girl, but with all the side effects of being an early Toon monster. Basically, this card is only going to see play in a gimmick deck. And ultimately, for this video, we've got Apprentice Illusion Magician, which is a Dart level 6 spellcaster monster with 2000 attack and 1700 defense, and the following effect. You can special summon this card from your hand by discarding one card. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Dart Magician from your deck to your hand. During damage calculation, if your other spellcaster monster battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. That monster you control gains 2000 attack and defense during that damage calculation only. This is another must run in the deck and is really good value super rare. It's easy enough to special summon and can search out the Dart Magician. Its third effect can be a real game changer too, as it's a quick effect and can therefore be used to interrupt your opponent's attack or can help you push for more damage on your turn. This one feels like the spiritual successor to Dart Magician Girl in a lot of ways, at least out of all the cards in Master Duel, as Magi Magician Girl was an OCG exclusive. And the final card for today is Dart Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, another Dart level 6 spellcaster monster with 2000 attack and 1700 defense. Its effect reads, you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding one card, and if you do, this card's name becomes Dart Magician Girl. You can only special summon Dart Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, once per turn this way. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Shining Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Dart Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, once per turn. Gains 300 attack for each monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus in the graveyards. So this one is also a part of another archetype, that of course being the Shining Sarcophagus archetype. If you're familiar with the final duel of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters anime, you'll know that Yugi and Atem ended up building separate decks, and these cards are mostly retrains of the ones Little Yugi used in that duel. Its effects are actually somewhat similar to cards like Dart Magician Girl and Apprentice Illusion Magician, but tailored for the Shining Sarcophagus cards, which is a great way of making it playable in that archetype without making the original Dart Magician Girl irrelevant. That is everything for this video, and this was awkward to choose the cards for, to be honest, as so many different decks have sprung up over the years that are inspired by Yugi's deck in the anime that it's awkward to know where to draw the line as to what fits into one archetype or another. In the end though, I've just done what I did with the Blue Eyes cards and thrown all the related cards into a pile and started going through them in order. I'm going to be doing at least one of these a week this year, with there still being plenty of other uploads with the TCG unboxings and dual playthroughs. I think in a couple of days I'll be releasing a video on the Yummy archetype, which has just been added to Master Duel. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed, please leave a like, and I always forget to mention this, but if you're on Instagram then feel free to give me a follow. I post TCG content on there as well as updates on my YouTube videos. I'll be back next week with part 8 of every card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I'll see you then. Its effect is, during the main or battle phase, if you took no damage, battle. 8th up, we've got Toon Dark Magician Girl, a Dark level 6 spellcaster Toon effect monster with 20.
Oh no!